Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. This is True Divine 4-4. So I'm sitting chilling and thinking, when we're in a world where it is normal for teachers to be saying they don't want to put white plasters on black children because it would be offensive and literally putting injury onto their injury, or inflicting hurt on their wound. Yeah, that's happening, and we have some crazy going on in the UK skies. So in the garden today, digging a bit too much, I saw this plane flying by, and it didn't look like anything I'd seen before, quite big. And the spray coming out of it, I haven't seen one expel that much in such an amount. And over the last few days, there's been some really weird patterns being made in the skies, very close to where I live and some on top of where I live. And so these are these images. And to be honest, in a world where we are now hearing teachers make those statements to children, as I stated at first, it doesn't seem so crazy actually, but you know, crazy still it is. It's more crazy that it doesn't seem that out there when we're facing with so much out there. So this is a pattern that was made in the sky yesterday. Lots of people saw it, lots of people shared pictures of it, and it's huge. And it spirals round in really quite tight circles. It's huge. I'm frightened to go off here to show you more because I don't want to show that person's page, so I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I don't think I'm allowed to do that, so I'll not share that one. Which other one was it? Where was it? Where was it? Let's see. I can't do it without showing. I'll not do that in case I show someone's information that doesn't want to be shown. So, yeah, that's happening. And what I find very, very strange and very convenient is that what is also happening is that the UK hasn't had, since these weird things have been so prevalent in the skies and more weird even than usual, you know, trails. There's not been allowed to have, there's no flight. There's no, what do you call it? Pedestrian? No, not pedestrian. There's no passenger flight, you know, going on holidays, commuting for overseas work, short stays, weekends, 3 weeks to 3 days, you know, all of those little flights that go in and out of the UK constantly have stopped. And this has happened in the skies. The skies have blown up with the amount of chemtrail, the mass of it, the size of it, and these weird patterns. They don't usually go to such, yeah, they'll do a cross, but they don't usually go to such intricate detail as to the pattern. This one looked very much like the early buddings of the flower of life. It was intricate and they were tight circles. Why? Why spray the stuff in the first place? And what is it? Since when did we accept as a collective? Sorry, that's blowing up. Since when did we accept as a collective that we could have things sprayed on us? There's Theodore in the garden with me. And I'm looking up at this thing flying by, and you could see the amount of spray and then how it dispersed real quickly. And it hit me hard because it's the first time I've seen them. I've seen them quite fresh, but I haven't actually seen the plane spitting them out. I haven't seen that. So it did take me by surprise. I did look over at Theodore because he had an asthma attack the other day, and you know, so he's much better. He's very stable, but he's still a bit wheezy. So I was keeping an eye on him and stopping him every once in a while. He was coughing and spluttering a little bit, but yeah, it really hit me hard, and then it hit me that there's no flights. Usually there's, especially coming spring, coming into summer, there's usually loads of flights going across my house. I'm not that far from the airport. There's been nothing. And while there's been nothing, these huge big planes have been in the sky, spraying, not just spraying the spray, as I say, but spraying the patterns in the sky, these intricate patterns. So I find it, I wish I could have found a picture, I'll find one for you, of the full thing to see the pattern of it, because I need to look at it more. Somebody on my Facebook got a really good capture of it, and you could see the full thing. It's huge and perfectly done. Perfectly done. I mean, excellent pilots, whatever the pilots are, whoever they are, whatever rank, I don't know, but the skill that must take, you know. But when did we get okay? I looked at Theodore, and I was looking at him and thinking, I know everything that goes into your body. You know, he's my little pal, he's my little shadow. Even though William's wanting more and more time, you know, like, oh, mom, don't touch, you know, I'm 11, you know. Even though he's wanting, you know, a bit less time being hugged and whatnot, I still know everything that goes into their bodies, everything. I know how many drinks they've had in a day. I know when to push the drinks on them a little bit more. You know, I know when they've snacked. I know when they've everything. Because even William, now he's big enough to go and get something, he always feels the need to announce it anyway. So I still know everything that goes into his body. Yet I've got something flying above my house while I'm out in the garden with Theodore, while he's playing, you know, a beautiful little thing, you're just happy in the sunshine, and I look up and I don't know what's in that spray. And that spray is being sprayed on us like we're weeds or something. And I don't put much joy into that thought, because we all know what is in a lot of the weed killers. That again, they just thought, I'll tell them. So it's a bit of it got me pissed off. As a mother, it got me pissed off because I wanted to know, what the hell are those ingredients? What are those ingredients, and how is it going to affect my child that's playing in the safety of his garden, in the safety of his mummy's watchful eye, in the safety that he's 6 and he has somebody over him that knows everything that's gone into that little body. And I pretty much know everything that comes out of that little body. Yet I've got some goons taking orders of goons in the sky, and that doesn't have to be what announced in the morning on the radio or something. They don't have to give us those ingredients. When did that become okay? Because when you really think about that, that blows you away as a mother or as a father, and just as a person in yourself, if you're not a parent, if you were babysitting, or if you have any animals, you know what goes into the body. You care for them, you're the guardian, you're there to watch over them, guide them, and make them safe, make their environment safe, make sure that they're eating the right foods, whether it's an animal, you know, making sure they're getting either the right meats or meats and veg, whatever the animal is. And then you do that with children, because you're the guardian, and anything else up until now, we'll see how much more that's going to change if things don't change, but anything else, you could demand to know the ingredients. If you were at a restaurant, you know, you can ask, you can make sure that there's no allergies that will, you know, counteract with the food. But we got okay with these governments and these puppeteers that puppet them behind the scenes. We got okay with it being normal that we don't know what's in the sky, and that we're being difficult or a conspiracy theorist when we demand an answer as to what is in the sky. And it should be, if there is any need at all anyway, to which I doubt, to spray the sky, then surely to goodness there is that same need as we have as guardians over ourselves and children and animals alike. In even this realm that we're in, you know, we love nature, we're grateful for what it gives us, we're grateful to the trees, we love the flowers, we love the skies. Even as individual guardians of our little patches of land, that it's not ours, it's just that we are here and we're in relationship with it. We're in relationship with the abundance that it gives us, and we're relationship in what we can give it, how we can nurture it. So from every level, no matter what your walk of life, no matter what your views or belief system is, when did we get okay for them to be spraying anything ever without us knowing exactly what it is, ingredient for ingredient, and how those ingredients interact? What are the contraindications of those ingredients? Everything, just like you do when you get a drug from the pharmacy, you get a PIL, a patient information leaflet. By law, you have to have that. You have to have something that you can look at concisely and see the ingredients, have the side effects, the contraindications, the dangers. That's William shouting in the background. It's like he can't talk at a normal level anymore now that he's turned the age that he's turned. He's like, he can't talk at a lower level. Be quiet, William. I am. And so it's so excuse that. But yeah, they've got to give out those patient information leaflets by law to allow you, as the guardian of your body or the guardian over somebody you're caring for, a poorly relative, an elderly relative, or a child, they have to give you the damn leaflet to give you all of it, the ingredients, side effects, contraindications, dosages, who it's suitable for. All of those components have to be in legally. And we got okay with allowing them at some point. What was the point we got okay with them doing that? I think a big point for us where we are at now is World War II. That war creates submission. And whatever's happening in the skies right now is war. Whatever is going on with them clearing the airspace traffic, particularly around Europe, around England, very much so, is war. Because not only should we know why and be able to argue in real time with these people who are leading this country, that what would to be able to challenge them as to, so why have you locked flights down? Why are you killing that sector now? Why are you literally imprisoning this country, this United Kingdom? But no, we haven't got that. They're such a distance away from us. They don't have to listen. We lost that at some point too. But war creates a mentality of dependence on the leaders, and it stands to reason. They've had all of the wealth through their hands. They've had all of the control as to how the land is run. And so when it comes to a crisis like a war, people haven't got the reserves, they haven't got the wherewithal, they haven't got the land allocation, they haven't got all sorts of things. And so that creates a much more unquestionable need to rely on the government. A lot of people feel uncomfortable Most people that I've met feel uncomfortable relying on anybody else. And when that person is quite obviously, or that thing is quite obviously unreliable in entirety, when that occurs, actually, like a child, a lot of children can go into almost a dreamland and push that thought pattern away because they can't quite, it's such a dangerous situation anyway, they can't quite face the danger of contemplating that this adult, this system, isn't in charge for their greatness, hasn't got it. Which is weird right now because you see how many people are being easily manipulated into a triggered mentality, literally like voice to skull, but doesn't even need to be that advanced because people are just speaking it out on a certain stage and trigger, boom. There's a huge sway of the collective ready to explode and divide even more. But if you look at America now, the one thing it hasn't got, that even if it was an illusion seemed to have with Trump, is that it's got a father that is absent of mind, a leader that is absent of mind. So people in America are going to be more triggered, not everybody, because I know a lot of awesome, really, really cool, level-headed dudes and dudettes in America. But a lot of them are already triggered and have been corralled into that lane and primed for that lane, for that trigger point, that code word. We've got, they are already there. So the fact that they haven't got this father figure, they haven't got this emperor, this authority figure that they feel safe with, they'll cling on to any dingbat on the stage that's resonating with any of their wounds or any of their triggers. Hence, people like that Walters woman, you know, it didn't incite violence. No, you just you lit the fuse. You didn't just incite it, you lit the fuse. So it means there's a lot of space for these goons to be sneaking in onto that stage, onto that platform. And I know I've gone off on a completely different subject, but you can probably tell it really did piss me off this afternoon that my son, who just had an asthma attack, and I can't stand it when he has an asthma attack. He's far too cute and far too adorable to feel that feeling. It got me really pissed off to think that, damn, we don't even challenge, and we're not allowed to challenge. It's made very difficult. Look at the fences around the White House. We're not allowed to challenge the person who is in ultimate control as to what the hell are you spraying in my sky that is going on my child. And then the same tangent I've just gone off with Biden. You look at the goon we've got here. You know, the two Bs, they're not spoiling any broth. He's laughing at us. He deliberately looks like a buffoon. He deliberately, I'm sure, does the floor with his hair before he sweeps the floor with his hair before he comes out to any speech. Because no hair naturally lies like that. No hair. He wears suits that are 3 times too big for him. And he's a very big fellow. And he speaks absolute and utter nonsense. He's a buffoon. That is the best word for Boris. Buffoon. Buffoon Boris. Boris the buffoon. Hashtag buffoon Boris. Because he is a buffoon and he comes out with nothing but buffoonery. So the father is missing. And we've got no mother to go to within these leadership roles to say, you'll understand this as a mother, as a father. like you would, I need to know what ingredients are being sprayed down on my child. And why the pattern? Why do I have to go and research the pattern? Why do I have to take up this time to think, okay, what was the date? What was the pattern? What time did it appear? You know, with all of the codes, which I love digging into, don't get me wrong, especially when it challenges, you know, my psychic aspect. But, you know, at this point right now, they've given me enough material to keep digging into, let's face it. I don't need the extra work. Tell me what the ingredients are. Tell me what the pattern was and what that signified to the time and the date, because I know that they are all components of your codes. And tell me what the reason for it was as to why those ingredients are in that spray. And it hasn't added extra. What was the symbolism? What was the symbol of magic? What was the power seal to whatever you were spraying over my child? Who do I ask? Who do I ask? And how do I get an answer? Is it under medicine? Is it like, could I put in, you know, freedom of information letter? Could I put that in and say, you've got 30 days to tell me on this date at this time what was being sprayed in the sky? Or is it another corporation that doesn't have to tell me, that is allowed its secret recipe? And if so, just come out with it. Just come out with it. Let's be done with this already. Let's reach the pivotal climactic point of this and allow me to challenge you. So that's the pondering I've got. And you can see I'm angry. You can see, I got very pissed off. And I think it was very fresh because Theodore was having such a lovely time. And I didn't bring him in at first because it took a little bit of time, but not long at all, to disperse out, you know, into the shape it does. But then I did bring him in when I started seeing it creeping over, and I know that makes a little bit of difference, but, you know, not much. He wanted to go back out in the garden again later on. Let's face it, it drops down to the soil, you know, so what can you do as a mother? So it put me in a position of, hold on a minute, anybody else that came up to my child and sprayed him with something, they'd have that spray so far up their jacksie within 2 seconds flat before I even asked the question, what was in that spray? You know? It's just crazy that we've gotten to where we are at, where we don't know who to even ask what the ingredients are that you are putting on my child. What do they do? Why? And can you bugger off with the special pattern thing unless there's something for me to dig into and find that is good, that is interesting? So that's this writing on the wall, I suppose. The ponderings of a pissed off mother. That'll be what the title might not be, because it doesn't sound too great. But yeah, that's the title for us. That's the title for us here. The ponderings of a pissed off mother, because I was pissed off. You all love Theodore, you know. Not one of you would choose to spray that on him. So how is somebody else just allowed to? Just because? I don't get it. I do and I don't. Anyway, that's me on that ledge for tonight, because I'm gonna talk myself down off it and transmute that energy. I'm gonna practice what I preach. But yeah, for now, it was it is there. It's still at an angry stage before I've transmuted that. I'm still at a point of bewilderment that creeps into anger, that creeps back into bewilderment, that creeps back into anger. That's the level I'm at. So it's going to be, you know, a good night's sleeping tomorrow, you know, telling myself, no, don't think about that. Because what do I do about it? That's the thing. What do I do about that aspect of the problems that we are facing and the problems that we have right now? It has to take a lesser priority, which is messed up because, as I say, anybody walking past my child and spraying them with something, they'd be answering my questions with said spray bottle up said Jaxie. 2 seconds flat. Yeah. Okay. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for listening to my rant, to my walk around my mind and coming back to exactly the same place that I met you here at. So yeah, a bath later, lots of salt, a bit of pepper maybe. That's good, mind, if you need to wash things away, negative type energies away, using salt and some black pepper is real awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, salt and black pepper. Okay, I love you all. Mwah.